Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to talk about if Orville is still crushing Star Trek Discovery. All right, now, a little while ago, I made a video about saying that I believe Orville is absolutely crushing Star Trek Discovery. And there was really fantastic response to that. I thank you to everyone who watched that video. And thank you so much to everyone who really put awesome comments on that video and really made that a discussion about Prelude to Axanar and about how CBS is owning the Star Trek property, and about people who actually got to see Star Trek TOS on air when I was actually airing live. And that was a really awesome that was an awesome conversation, and that's exactly why I do this, right? Is to have those conversations and to learn from other people. But one of the things that I was consistently getting comments for is they're saying, hey, you think Orville is crushing Discovery, but Orville's dropping like a stone in its ratings, right? And I was like, what? Wait, what? So I was like, uh-oh, am I wrong? Right? Because let me tell you, Scott Garibay does not like to be wrong. So I did the research, and I actually went in and got the real numbers, and we're going to talk about that today. So, last time, it was very clear to me for a whole lot of reasons that Orville was crushing Discovery, but it was early on, right? So there was only like 3 or 4 episodes max, maybe 2 or 3 episodes out when that last video was made, and now we're on. We have episode 5 of Discovery, and we have episode 6 of Orville, and the numbers have settled. We know the numbers. We'll get to that in 1 minute, but let's talk about the real numbers. Okay, so these are the real ratings, the viewership ratings in millions of viewers from Wikipedia, which aggregates them from the rating services. And I was very pleased to find this. Wikipedia lists your viewership on any major show. So like Big Bang, This Is Us, Orville, and Star Trek Discovery. We're going to talk about Star Trek Discovery's numbers in 1 minute, right? We're going to get there. All right, so let's talk about them. So what happened? We now know the viewership rating numbers. There is a listing for the viewership numbers for Orville and for Star Trek Discovery on Wikipedia. And let's talk about what those numbers are, right? Okay. So for the Orville, it is absolutely true that the ratings for Orville are dropping regularly. So here's the real numbers. Okay. Specifically, it was episode 1, those ratings, this is viewership on the first night, okay, is 8 million viewers for Orville on episode 1, 6 million viewers for episode 2, 4 million viewers for episode 3, and then 3 million viewers for episode 4, 3 million viewers for episode 5, 3 million viewers for episode 6, okay? Now, 4, 5, and 6, those numbers continue to drop between like 200,000 to 100,000 per episode, okay? So the arc on viewership for the Orville is absolutely going down. That is true. There's no way around that, right? And that's some hardness, man. That's difficult to really process. Why is that happening? You know what I mean? So that is really a challenging reality, right? Now let's talk about Star Trek Discovery's numbers, right? Go right to Wikipedia and look there, and there is a column, and every single value for episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, and episode 5, they all say TBD, to be determined, right? Now, there have been a million articles on the viewership for all these, right? So, we know that Star Trek Discovery and Orville had a tie, okay? This is widely reported, for viewership on the first show. And everybody was like, a tie, man, that doesn't tell us who's better, right? And everybody was frustrated, but it was a tie for viewership for episode 1, okay? Now, and episode 2 had, for Orville, again, there are no numbers on hard, like, here's the hard number of the number of people watched it. And we're going to get to why in 1 minute. So Star Trek Discovery is behind a paywall. It's behind the CBS All Access paywall, okay? So we know that 8 million people watched episode 1. We think the same number, or maybe 1 million or 2 less, watched episode 2, okay? Now those were the only episodes that could be watched outside of CBS All Access, okay? And even that was for a very limited amount of time, and and that was it, okay? Now, here's what's really, really fascinating, okay? CBS, they were under incredible pressure to give numbers, right? And they did give a number. They told us that CBS, essentially, that company owns 2 streaming services. They own the Showtime streaming service, and they own CBS All Access. Well, CBS All Access has 1 million subscribers. 1 million. That number is out there. It's public, okay? Well, now at that point, episode 3, 4, and 5, you know how many people are watching those shows, right? If the show can only be watched behind CBS All Access, I think you could watch it in Canada on Netflix, maybe. Again, those numbers would be so minimal because it really wouldn't be enough to bring it out. And the reality is, CBS is not telling them, right? So is not saying the numbers. They're not, right? But they've already told us that, hey, in the U.S., you cannot watch this, you cannot, and I think the Nielsen ratings are U.S. only anyway, right? So in the U.S., you can't watch episodes 3, 4, and 5 anywhere but on it has to go on, you have to watch it through CBS All Access, right? And so at that point, you have this situation where that means it's capped at 1 million, right? So we now know the numbers. Here's the numbers for you, right? It's for Orville, right? By extrapolation, right? This is the best data we have, right? I can't say we know the numbers, especially on Discovery, but the best data we have, it shows the comparison of Orville, right? Orville's episode 1, 8 million viewers, okay? Star Trek Discovery, 8 million viewers. Episode 2 for Orville, 6 million viewers. Episode 2 for Discovery, probably the same. We think that there was a tie between the opening, and this is because Star Trek Discovery kind of linked their first 2 episodes together, right? So there's even possibility that maybe there was 7 million, right? But episode 2, 6 million viewers for Orville. A very similar number, maybe slightly higher for Star Trek Discovery, okay? And then what are the numbers for episode 3, 4, and 5, okay? Episode 3 of the Orville, 4 million viewers. Episode 3 of Discovery, 1 million viewers. Episode 4 of Discovery, of Orville, 3 million viewers. Episode 4 of Discovery, 1 million viewers. Episode 5 of Discovery, 3 million viewers. Episode 5 of the Orville, episode 5 of the Orville, you get 3 million viewers. Episode 5 of Star Trek Discovery, 1 million viewers, right? And at this point, the only way to grow the viewership on Star Trek Discovery is to grow subscribership, right? So that is a serious problem. So with those numbers, right, that's the best data we have to this point. I say Orville is absolutely still crushing Discovery by the numbers alone, and I think it's crushing it in a lot of other ways. I think it's crushing it in matching Gene Roddenberry's vision. It's crushing it in being open and available to people who might not have who would really, really, really need the message of Star Trek, but might really, really, really not have the money to watch it, and so it's just, it crushes it in every single way except lens flare. Right now, yeah, I mean, that's it. I really feel like that, Orville really is just crushing Discovery. And now, the one thing I will say is I really have grown in sympathy for for CBS, and I really think they need to do is they need to take this out from behind the paywall. Now, I think that Discovery has a lot of other shows, and it won't fix those, but, you know. Now, let's talk about what do those numbers mean? What does it mean that it has a 3 million rating, right? It is a serious that Orville is now locked in a pretty much a 3 million rating per episode. What does that mean overall? Well, the biggest show on television right now is Big Bang Theory, and they average 14 million viewers an episode. 14 million. That is 4 times the viewership of Orville, okay? And arguably 14 times the viewership of Discovery, right? And so, you know, and then with change of 2 million, like it's ridiculously high, right? Just a new show, This Is Us, okay? And I picked this one because it's a lot like the Orville. It's a brand new show. It came out a year ago. It's going into its 2nd season now. Near the end of its last season, just the regular episodes, you were looking at numbers of about 11 million viewers. 11 million viewers for just a bog standard drama on a network channel. On a network channel. We're not even talking about Game of Thrones or Walking Dead numbers, and those are even higher than the network numbers often, right? You know, this is you're talking some, you know, so it is a very serious problem that those numbers are that low for our 3 million. Now, there's a lot of people saying, are they going to cancel it, right? And I have to admit, at 3 million viewers, that is definitely a question of, do we keep making this show? Because one of the things that's very clear is Orville. By the way, one of the best terms I ever heard for Orville's name was Seth Trek. One of the people who watched my original video put that in the trailer below. I thought that's really cool. So one of the, you know, so if you have 3 million viewers for Orville is a very, very expensive show. Okay. Now, one of the things that's really fascinating is, you know, so we're looking at terrible, terrible, terrible numbers for this show, right? You know, that's just not a win in anybody's world. Okay. And so, you know, and 1 million is clearly a lot worse than 3 million. However, here's the thing. Because Star Trek Discovery was put on CBS All Access, what that means is that what CBS is doing is very different than what the Orville is doing. They're not going for viewership. They are going to build a platform that will, their goal is to build a platform that will rival Netflix and that will give them a steady stream of money every single month, just the way Netflix has. They're hacking the system at the base level with CBS All Access. And we can complain all we want about it, but the reality is CBS has a wholly different goal with Star Trek Discovery than Orville has for Fox. And, you know, and the reason why is Fox wants viewers, right? CBS wants to challenge Netflix directly and get a stream of money flowing to them from viewers direct, right? And that is, you know, that's a different ballgame. You're playing a different sport at that level. You know what I mean? And so one of the things is, you know, now here's the other thing though. As viewers, as Star Trek fans, do any of us care that CBS Access is a success? So that's another reason why I say Orville is crushing Discovery. And now, if you're a CBS executive, right, and maybe you got 100,000 new subs last week, and it looks like you have a hope of beating Netflix, maybe, just maybe, right? Then you're starting to see some dividends from Star Trek Discovery, right? But, you know, like, I think for a lot of Star Trek fans, we're just kind of looking at this whole situation and going, you know, why did CBS decide, you know, that our show is going to be held hostage for this weird experiment, you know? And, you know, it's clear why, because, you know, Star Trek just has huge, you know, it has leverage. It will bring people to the party. So, in my opinion, if you look at it, the numbers are in, and it's 3 million versus 1 million on a bog standard episode of Orville, against a bog standard episode of Star Trek Discovery, you're seeing 3 million viewers on the Orville side, and you're generally seeing 1 million viewers on the Star Trek Discovery side. And that 3 is 3 times higher than 1. So I say that that Orville is still crushing Star Trek Discovery. Thank you.